Well, greetings again. This is Dr. Bill Wyatt with the American Orthodontic Society, and we're going to kind of start at the bottom of the list down here on extremely crowded cases, ways you could deal with these. And we also call them like serial extraction of teeth, where we're using nature to straighten the teeth up. And you get somebody that's so crowded and teeth come in there. I want to show you how you could let the follicular movement of the bag that is around each crown of tooth move the teeth themselves. And all you do is eliminate one on one side, and this bag will round out again, like everything in nature holds more in a round area than any other shape you can get. And the crowns of teeth form inside this follicle. So let's get started on that, and it'll show you what we do in this. Now, let me get my marker going over here, and the color. Here is a young lady. I'm going to run through this real quick. We started doing this years ago, showing people how to deal with crowded teeth. Now I'm going to show you a whole bunch of pictures. First, this is a young lady comes in, and her teeth were so very crowded, and we realized she could not get them all in there straight. So what we learned we could do early on and prevent this from happening is going in there and eliminating teeth. And let me show you what this does. You have this follicle around a tooth will move teeth around, and you don't even have to touch the tooth at all, but you have to get something out on one side or the other. Now here is this lady. We start out with her when she's a young girl, and we went through a case. We took those teeth out, and her teeth came in almost straight. I got her back later on. These pictures were taken years ago. There's some fungus got on some of them. I'm sorry about that. And this ended up without doing any orthodontics to a certain point, and we came back later and touched them up and improved them a lot with very little actual orthodontics doing this. And so I wanted to show you what we did here. This is the way we did it. We came back and lined the teeth up. She has no bicuspids in them, but these are centrals, laterals, cuspids. First, this is the second bicuspid. The first bi is gone in here, in this area right here, and then the rest of the teeth are in there. You might have room for the wisdom teeth, because a lot of times these teeth move forward, and you kind of trade the bicuspid for a wisdom tooth, which is a much better trade. The wisdom tooth is a lot better. Now we'll go through here, and I'll show you how we move those teeth and didn't even touch the teeth that we wanted to move. We put this came back, and we finished it a few years later. See, so she's got, apparently their wisdom teeth aren't there, so we lined up. She's got a mouthful of teeth now and everything, and all this is lined up, and the first bicuspids are gone here, and we brought that together, but that moved together on its own. And let me show you how we did that. Okay, here's this young lady's x-rays when she was quite young. This was 1972. She came in, and we realized that these three teeth had no possible getting them in there. If you to get between this space and here, get them in there correctly. And so we saw this down on the bottom. Here's the permanent cuspid running right into a lateral, permanent lateral. We want to keep the cuspids. So, and the same thing up here. This cuspid is running into this lateral right here. This one is going into this lateral here. And the same thing down here. Permanent cuspid going into a permanent lateral. How you going to deal with that? How to correct that? And at this point, there are no wisdom teeth showing over here. So we can come back, and if you can go in and realize what's going to happen in this case. So we take out the baby tooth first, and then maybe we'll remove this baby cuspid, and we might remove these teeth first, and then let this permanent tooth come down a little bit, and we can go in and take it out. And you can remove those baby teeth, and now let this permanent cuspid, first bicuspid, erupt up. You can drill a hole into it, run a spoon in there when it's developing, has no root structure to speak of, and you can ease that tooth out just in a very simple extraction. And so I did most of this type of extraction. Now let's look, say this is 4 of 72, and we look at 5 of 73. We got this baby teeth out and let it erupt. We still have these baby teeth in the front of the mouth to keep from messing it up. Now we're ready to extract the permanent teeth. When we take them, we take this too, the permanent tooth and the baby tooth out right here. Now watch this tooth. This is the follicle around that tooth. I'm going to erase that in a second here so you can see it. But let's see, there's a follicle. There's a bag of fluid around that tooth. And this fluid is like a cyst. It can take fluid in, but it can't get out. And these follicles will touch teeth, and teeth will push against them and flatten the follicle out where it fits against the tooth. Right here, like this, flattening this out right here. Watch these teeth change now. The angle is this tooth is going in, and these are the cuspids, are very important teeth. We keep cuspids at all costs if we possibly can. Now we took the baby teeth out here, let this come up a little bit more where we can get to it and remove that. Now here we go from 5 of 73 to 7 of 73. This is just 2 months later. Look what this follicle has done. It is rounded out like that. That pushed this tooth over in this area. This follicle rounded out. And it pushed this tooth in this area. This one came on over in this area also. Both of way. Let me back that up now, and you look where they were. And now look what happened in only 2 months. We just went up and got these teeth out like that. And look at 2 months later, here's 5 of 73, 7 of 73. 2 months later, these teeth had changed positions almost totally. In other words, they were headed more this way like that. And they just moved. The follicle rounded out on those teeth. And this is what we call follicular movement of teeth. Nature does it. Allowed nature to straighten this, this problem out. We're forming wisdom teeth. Now, I can't tell for sure about that, but this is their wisdom teeth in these other areas. And these teeth may drift forward and we'll close up part of this. This will come down. Now let's look at it a little bit later. Here, that's 7 of 73. You can see it right here. Now there's January of 74. Now look at the follicles. The tooth has got a big follicle. This tooth has come from here over to here. I didn't touch the tooth itself. I let the follicle or nature moved in. These teeth are drifted a little bit from the back, and we'll have more room for the wisdom teeth to come in many of these cases. You save the wisdom tooth and sacrifice something in the middle. Now this is hard to get across to people. I've shown this to people for years, and there are very few people. Look at this and see, it's not complicated. Look at this tooth. Now it's going straight up in there, and it was hanging over this way. This way. This was going straight. I'm sorry I messed up my little marking deal, but I'll have to discard this. Okay. All right, here again. This is, I'm sorry. Hold it just a minute and we'll get this straightened out. I touched too far down here. These computers are marvelous, but you can make mistakes on them. I don't know whether I touch this. And here, this tooth is coming straight down in a line now. This one is doing the same thing. This one over here. Now, this was a complicated, crowded mess when we started. Now it's going to be a simple, just touching it up and let nature straighten the thing out. And as this goes under the name of serial extraction, where you go in and do this and don't do anything. If this is, I've had people out on the mission field, they couldn't get to an orthodontic, and I sat down with one doctor. He was a chest surgeon, and we did his daughter's teeth and took her teeth out like that. They came in pretty good. They were almost straight. But when he got back to the States, they had somebody put braces on them and straighten them up a little bit. That was very simple to do. But she didn't have to go through a period of crooked teeth. And so this happens, and let nature do this. Now watch, I'm going to erase that, and we'll go on to another. That didn't erase. All right, here is 2 of 75. We haven't done any braces in here at all. Look where the teeth are coming, right into a space. This closed in too. Now there's more room for the wisdom teeth to come in. I don't know that she'll have enough room, but she might. If this jaw moves back here, come in. These teeth are coming up here. That's a piece of root left. It'll go away, don't worry about it. And this will close down, and this space close up. Let's look at it again. 2 of 75, we still haven't touched it orthodontically. I mean, if you call it orthodontic, this is the best orthodontics that can be done if you can let nature do it and you do some things and the teeth just straighten up on themselves. And that's what's happening. Here's 8, I believe it's 8 of 75. The teeth are here. Here's the follicle around that can eat the inside of the tooth out, but it leaves the enamel. Now this tooth will get flipped out of here somewhere or another that's lost all of its roots. This tooth will come up, and this will move forward and close that. And let's look at it a little later. Where there's a 70, that looks like 8 of 75. It must not have been, because this is 80, this is 77. So there's something wrong with that date. Now, I have not done one thing to straighten these teeth out. Look at them. They came in straight. We let nature do this. Why is this not easy for people to see and to study and figure out how to do these simple things? And this is what we're doing in Straightwise Orthodontics. Sit down and think about it, how it can be done without going in there early and putting braces on this kid's teeth. She sat there all this time, and they came in here that's not perfect. So I was working on her father's teeth, and we came back and touched them up. Very simple thing to do, but it was a complicated case. Now, let me see what else is. That's the end of it. We came back, straightened the teeth up after she got to be an older young lady. I don't know whether we had to take her wisdom teeth out or not. I don't have enough pictures here to show that. But her teeth straightened up. I did very little orthodontics as far as you ought to call orthodontics, putting braces on the teeth and doing all that stuff. This type of orthodontics is the best orthodontics that can be done, where you let nature come in and do the job. And so we take somebody that's extremely crowded and we can do this to them. And that's what I want to get across to everybody in the world, that this can be done. This is something that you have to think about to do. It's like AI is nothing but information that we already know. Long-term thinking is going to be added to AI if the computers can do it. I don't know if the computers can do this, but human beings can do it. And that's all we did here. We just thought through what needed to be done and how you could do it. And you have to learn about the teeth and how they move around on their own, and what a bag of liquid around that tooth ends up being the epithelial tissue around the tooth that comes through. And these follicles can form cysts, and we'll cover that later on too. You can get a follicular cyst and form a cyst of the whole bottom jaw if not treated properly. Thank you for watching. Let me see if there's anything else on here. But this is the way we did this complicated, crowded case, and we did it, and possibly her wisdom teeth will still have room to come in. And here's the young lady, the facial structure, several years after we started, came back. The vertical like of the face is fine, and she's got a nice smile, and this is 85, and so those dates back there were messed up a little bit, but here was where she started, and that's where we ended up with her looking like that. So this is follicular movement. Now you could go in and punch a button here, and we'll show you several other cases like this, and maybe we'll get people where they'll learn how to do this by just thinking about it, how you're going to do it. That's what I'm trying to get across to people everywhere in the world. These things can be done for people, and that's what I hope to get done. So I'm going to say goodbye. Join our group, and I have 3 video channels in YouTube, Facebook, and you can find these videos all over anywhere. And look them up and study these. If you're interested in orthodontics, you don't have to be a trained orthodontist. You can be a dentist and learn about it and do it yourself. And dentists, you need some dentists. You can't just, nobody can just start straightening them out, but you learn about it and how to do it wherever you are in the world. And thank you for watching. We get people right in from countries all over the world. And I can't answer all the questions they write about, but we try. So I'll say goodbye and join our group and look for our videos wherever you're on the TV or your phone or wherever you can find them. Thank you for watching.